Sunlight bends through triple-glazed electrochromic glass. Walls pulse with embedded sensors. Somewhere in Malibu, a $90 million estate exists that no human architect designed. What if your dream home wasn't sketched by hand, but calculated by an intelligence that processed 14 million design variations before sunrise? What if that same intelligence understood passive solar geometry, carbon-neutral materials, and your sleep patterns simultaneously? This isn't speculation. This is happening right now in design labs from Copenhagen to Silicon Valley. Artificial intelligence has crossed a threshold most people haven't noticed yet. Deep learning algorithms now analyze decades of architectural data, climate patterns, and human behavior to generate structures that human minds couldn't conceive in a lifetime. Generative design systems process material stress loads, natural light trajectories, and energy consumption models in milliseconds. The results: homes that achieve net zero carbon emissions while delivering luxury that makes traditional mansions look primitive. Here's what the design world isn't telling you. The most revolutionary residential projects of the next decade won't emerge from famous architecture studios. They'll emerge from AI systems that treat sustainability not as a constraint, but as a creative catalyst. These digital architects don't compromise between beauty and responsibility. They've eliminated that false choice entirely. We've spent months gathering proprietary data from computational design labs, interviewing engineers embedded in cutting-edge smart home development, and accessing preview renders that won't reach architecture magazines for years. What we discovered challenged everything we thought we knew about luxury living. The homes you're about to see don't just exist on paper. Prototypes stand completed. Construction permits sit approved. Billionaire clients have already signed contracts. Can a machine truly understand beauty? Can algorithms capture the intangible essence of what makes a space feel like sanctuary? By the end of this journey, you'll have your answer. Today, we're unlocking the blueprint. These are the designs that will define how humanity lives tomorrow. Welcome to an exclusive tour of 7 AI-designed properties and concepts that represent the absolute frontier of eco-luxury architecture. Each one solves problems human designers couldn't crack. Each one delivers sophistication that redefines what residential excellence means. Each one proves that the future of living isn't coming. It's already being built. These aren't theoretical exercises. These are functional designs backed by structural engineering, approved by sustainability certifications, and priced for ultra-high net worth individuals who demand perfection. Leading computational design firms, including Spacemaker, AI Autodesks, generative systems, and proprietary algorithms developed by boutique tech architecture hybrids, created what you're about to witness. The stakes couldn't be higher. Climate change demands construction innovation. Luxury buyers demand unprecedented personalization. Smart home technology demands seamless integration from foundation to rooftop. Only AI can balance these competing requirements simultaneously. Only AI can iterate through millions of possibilities to find solutions human designers would never discover. What you're about to experience will transform how you think about homes, technology, and the very definition of intelligent design. Let's step inside. First on our tour stands a property that doesn't just respond to its inhabitants, it anticipates them. Cool concrete floors absorb the summer heat in a 12,000 square foot estate nestled into California's Santa Cruz Mountains. Floor-to-ceiling, windows frame ancient redwoods. But the windows aren't positioned for aesthetics alone. An AI analyzed 17 years of sunlight data, prevailing wind patterns, and thermal mass calculations to place every opening with mathematical precision. Neural Nest represents the first residential project designed entirely by behavioral prediction algorithms. The AI system, developed by a Palo Alto startup in partnership with Stanford's Computational Design Lab, consumed 8 months of biometric data from its future owners before generating a single line. Sleep cycles, heart rate variability during different activities, movement patterns through previous residences, preferences for natural versus artificial light at different hours. The algorithm digested everything. What emerged defies traditional architectural logic. Hallways curve at 17-degree angles because the AI determined this minimizes decision fatigue during morning routines. The primary bedroom sits oriented at a compass heading of 43 degrees northeast, because data showed the owner's circadian rhythms synchronized best with light entering from that precise direction. Kitchen island height varies by 3 inches across its surface because the algorithm detected subtle posture preferences during cooking versus casual conversation. The sustainability metrics astonish engineers who review the specifications. Material usage dropped 41% compared to traditional construction for equivalent square footage. The AI selected a composite of hemcrete cross-laminated timber and recycled steel that achieves carbon negativity within 6 years of completion. 18 solar panels integrated invisibly into roofing tiles generate 130% of annual energy needs. Excess power feeds 3 neighborhood homes through a microgrid. The AI designed simultaneously. Here's what nobody notices at first glance. Every room contains exactly 12 plants selected by botanical algorithms for optimal air purification, humidity regulation, and psychological benefit. The species vary by room function. High oxygen producers in bedrooms, stress-reducing varieties in the home office. Culinary herbs in kitchen sightlines positioned for both convenience and subconscious appetite regulation. Smart home integration happened at the DNA level of this design. Voice control, automated climate systems, and security protocols weren't added after construction. The AI designed structural elements to house sensors, wiring, and processors organically. Walls contain embedded graphene mesh for whole home connectivity with 0 dead zones. Foundation concrete incorporates piezoelectric elements that harvest energy from footsteps. Even the driveway generates power from vehicle weight. The owners paid $62 million for Neural Nest. They claim it understands them better than any therapist. Every evening, lighting shifts through 11 carefully calculated gradients designed to guide their biology toward optimal sleep. Every morning, window opacity adjusts to wake them during the lightest phase of their sleep cycle. The home doesn't just shelter, it nurtures, but that's nothing compared to what awaits next. Number 6 takes us to the Norwegian coastline, where darkness dominates winter months, and sustainability isn't optional, it's survival. Wind screams across the Lofoten archipelago at 60 kilometers per hour. Snow accumulates on rooftops elsewhere in the village. But on one particular structure, designed by generative algorithms from Oslo's leading climate-responsive architecture lab, snow never touches the surface. The roofline curvature, calculated through 400,000 iterations of computational fluid dynamics modeling, creates air currents that sweep precipitation away naturally. Zero maintenance, zero energy consumption. Pure physics orchestrated by artificial intelligence. Arctic Haven demonstrates what happens when AI architects face extreme constraints. Traditional construction in this location fails within decades. Freeze-thaw cycles crack foundations. Moisture penetration destroys insulation. Energy costs bankrupt homeowners during months of continuous darkness. Human architects have struggled with these challenges for generations. The AI solved them in 11 weeks. The structure's form appears almost alien at first encounter. Undulating walls curve without a single 90-degree angle because the algorithm determined that organic geometry distributes thermal stress more effectively. Triple-layered facades sandwich aerogull insulation between self-healing polymer panels and locally sourced granite. Energy performance exceeds passive house standards by 314%. Heating costs during the darkest month total $17. What the AI understood that human designers missed involves the psychological architecture of light. During winter months, Arctic Haven floods its interior with carefully calibrated artificial sunlight that mimics Mediterranean latitudes. But the AI didn't simply install bright fixtures, it analyzed circadian research, cultural light preferences, and neurological studies on seasonal affective disorder to create a lighting system that pulses, shifts, and breathes throughout the day. Residents report mood improvements, rivaling prescription interventions. The home produces everything it needs and more. Wind turbines integrated into structural elements appear decorative but generate 18 kilowatts. Continuously during winter storms, geothermal systems tap heat 400 meters below the frozen surface. Hydrogen fuel cells store summer solar energy for winter consumption. The grid connection exists only to sell excess power back to neighboring communities. Luxury reveals itself in unexpected ways. The primary bathroom features a floor heated to exact physiological comfort temperature as determined by biometric baseline measurements. Sauna walls contain moisture sensors that adjust steam output to match individual relaxation preferences. A glass-bottomed walkway over an indoor heated pool creates the sensation of walking on water while providing supplementary humidity for optimal respiratory comfort. Material selection showcases AI precision at its finest. Every timber beam originates from sustainably managed Norwegian forests selected by satellite analysis for optimal carbon sequencing age. Stone surfaces contain zero imported materials. Even adhesives derive from plant-based compounds manufactured within 200 kilometers. The carbon footprint calculation required 3 weeks of AI processing and revealed net negativity within 4 years. The total construction cost reached $41 million. The owners, tech entrepreneurs who made their fortune in renewable energy, consider it the most intelligent investment of their lives. The home thinks ahead. Temperature adjustments begin 40 minutes before occupants arrive based on calendar integration and traffic analysis. Storm preparations initiate automatically when weather satellites detect approaching systems. Grocery restocking triggers when refrigerator cameras identify depleted items. The deeper you go, the more revolutionary it becomes. Coming in at number 5, we explore a concept that challenges the very definition of building materials. What if your home's walls were actually alive? Moisture hangs in the air of a prototype structure outside Singapore. The humidity isn't discomfort, it's intentional. Walls covered in genetically optimized moss breathe carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Vertical gardens aren't decorative features, they're structural elements calculated by AI to provide load-bearing support while delivering year-round food production. Welcome to symbiotic architecture, where the boundary between building and ecosystem disappears entirely. The AI system behind this concept originated in a joint venture between MIT's Media Lab and the Singapore University of Technology and Design. Researchers trained algorithms on decades of biomimicry research, living, building documentation, and ecosystem modeling. The directive was simple but unprecedented. Design a home that functions as a productive member of its local ecology rather than an extraction from it. What emerged required 3 years of development and 12 prototype iterations. The primary structure consists of mycelium-based composites, grown rather than manufactured. Fungal networks, threaded through compressed agricultural waste, create materials with compression strength exceeding concrete, while weighing 1/6 as much. The AI calculated growth patterns, nutrient requirements, and structural specifications simultaneously. Construction occurred in bioreactor facilities that consumed only solar power and organic waste streams. Living walls cover 73% of exterior surfaces, but these aren't standard green facades. The AI selected each plant species through analysis of local pollinator populations. Regional carbon sequestration needs and aesthetic preferences derived from surveys of over 40,000 potential buyers. Flowering patterns rotate throughout the year to support bee and butterfly populations while maintaining visual beauty across seasons. Fruit-bearing species produce an estimated $1,800 of organic produce annually. Interior air quality measurements defy comparison. Traditional luxury homes achieve particulate counts of 1,500 per cubic centimeter with premium filtration systems. This living structure maintains counts below 200 through biological processes alone. Certain wall sections contain bioluminescent algae that provide ambient lighting without electricity while converting carbon dioxide at rates 300 times higher than equivalent plant mass. The smart home integration takes biological form as well. Sensors embedded in growing substrates monitor plant health, structural integrity, and air composition simultaneously. Machine learning algorithms predict maintenance needs weeks in advance. When sections require attention, the home communicates through subtle changes in interior bioluminescence patterns that occupants perceive unconsciously before conscious notification even registers. Pricing for a completed symbiotic architecture homes begins at $28 million, with customization packages extending into 9 figures for estate-scale implementations. Waitlists extend for years. Production capacity remains limited by mycelium cultivation timelines that AI cannot accelerate beyond biological constraints. Some forces even artificial intelligence must respect. And this is where design transcends imagination. Number 4 introduces a structure that exists in perfect conversation with its climate. No heating system, no cooling system, only physics, so precisely calculated that comfort emerges automatically. Desert heat radiates from sandstone cliffs outside Scottsdale, Arizona. Temperatures exceed 43 degrees Celsius throughout summer afternoons. Traditional construction here demands massive air conditioning systems consuming thousands of dollars monthly. But one estate, emerging from the landscape, maintains interior temperatures between 20 and 24 degrees year-round, using zero active climate control. The secret? I calculated passive architecture so sophisticated that mechanical engineers initially refused to believe the simulations. Thermal equilibrium. House represents a collaboration between generative design algorithms and the world's leading passive solar engineering firm. The AI analyzed 50 years of local weather data, hourly sun angle calculations throughout the year, prevailing wind patterns across seasons, and ground temperature gradients down to 12 meters depth. From this data, it generated a form that channels natural forces into perfect climate control. The roofline extends at precisely calculated overhangs that shade windows during summer months, while permitting full solar penetration during winter. Wall thickness varies from 40 centimeters to 120 centimeters, depending on thermal mass. Requirements calculated for each specific orientation. Ventilation pathways carved through the structure create stack effects that pull cool air from underground chambers without any mechanical assistance. Material selection demonstrates AI precision reaching molecular levels. The algorithm specified adobe composition with exact sand-to-clay ratios optimized for thermal absorption and release rates matching diurnal temperature swings. Lime plaster formulations reference traditional techniques enhanced through spectroscopic analysis for optimal solar reflectivity. Even paint colors derive from calculations of light absorption coefficients across relevant wavelength bands. Underground chambers extend the habitable footprint by 40%. The AI designed these subterranean spaces for specific functions requiring temperature stability. Wine storage maintains 13 degrees Celsius without climate control. A meditation room holds precisely 21 degrees regardless of surface conditions. A home cinema enjoys acoustics engineered through computational analysis of sound wave behavior in curved underground geometries. Water management showcases similar ingenuity. Atmospheric water generators harvest moisture from desert air during temperature differential. Windows, the AI identified through meteorological pattern analysis. Greywater recycling systems feed native landscaping, calculated to require zero supplemental irrigation once established. Even swimming pool water circulates through passive purification channels using solar exposure and mineral filtration rather than chemical treatment. The asking price reached $54 million. The buyers, a couple who made their fortune in thermal engineering, purchased specifically because they understood the computational achievement the design represents. They estimate lifetime energy savings exceeding $3 million compared to equivalent-sized traditional construction. But they value something beyond economics. They value living in proof that intelligence, whether human or artificial, can solve problems previously considered intractable. Think that's innovative? Keep watching. Landing at number 3, we encounter a home that doesn't just save energy. It generates a surplus so vast that neighbors benefit for miles. Wind turbines spin silently on sculptural towers that double as landscape features outside Austin, Texas. Solar arrays invisible beneath parking surfaces generate power from every vehicle. Visit, a single home produces enough energy to eliminate electrical costs for 12 surrounding properties. Power Station Residence redefines what residential structures can contribute to their communities. The AI behind this project received a unique design brief: maximize energy generation while maintaining ultra-luxury residential quality throughout 18,000 square feet. Previous attempts at net-positive homes sacrificed aesthetics for function. Solar panels dominated roof lines. Wind turbines created noise complaints. Storage systems consumed basement square footage. The AI rejected all these compromises. Generative algorithms ran for 7 weeks, exploring 73 million design variations before identifying solutions. Human engineers had never considered piezoelectric flooring throughout the estate converts footsteps and furniture vibrations into electricity. Every window contains transparent photovoltaic films that harvest light while maintaining views. Wastewater treatment systems capture methane for backup generation. Even the home's data center required for AI operations produces waste heat directed into swimming pool heating. The structural form itself functions as an energy collection device. Roof angles optimize solar exposure throughout the year without appearing as obvious solar installations. Wall materials incorporate phase change substances that store thermal energy during peak sun hours for release during cool evenings. The driveway surface contains thermoelectric generators that harvest temperature differentials between sun-heated pavement and cooler subsurface layers. Generation totals reach 140 megawatts annually. Household consumption, despite including a professional recording studio, indoor basketball court, and cryptocurrency mining operation, reaches only 38 megawatters. The surplus powers neighboring properties through a private microgrid, the AI designed to integrate seamlessly with existing utility infrastructure. Neighbors pay the homeowner $47,000 annually for power that costs them 30% less than grid rates. Smart home systems manage energy flows with precision impossible through human monitoring. Machine learning algorithms predict generation and consumption patterns hours in advance. Battery storage systems anticipate demand spikes and shift usage to optimal production windows. Electric vehicle charging schedules automatically to maximize solar utilization. Even cooking appliances coordinate timing to balance loads across generation systems. The estate sold for $78 million with ongoing revenue projections that reduce effective ownership costs by 61% compared to purchase price alone. Buyers understand they're purchasing not just a home, but an asset that appreciates through technological improvement. As grid electricity costs rise, their revenue increases. As battery technology advances, their storage capacity expands. The AI designed for continuous evolution. Hold that thought. Number 2, changes the game entirely. Silence defines the approach to a property hidden in Japan's Izu Peninsula forest. No road noise penetrates. No aircraft cross overhead. The location wasn't selected by real estate agents. It was identified by acoustic modeling algorithms that analyzed noise propagation patterns across 700 square kilometers to find the quietest buildable site within 2 hours of Tokyo. Sanctuary Estate represents the culmination of AI architecture, focused on psychological rather than merely physical comfort. The design brief specified a home for a client experiencing extreme executive burnout, someone for whom genuine peace had become more valuable than any material luxury. The AI responded with a structure engineered for neurological restoration. Every surface in this home dampens sound. Wall compositions layer natural materials calculated for optimal frequency absorption across the range of human hearing. Floor structures float on isolation systems that eliminate footfall transmission between spaces. Even plumbing runs through acoustically sealed channels that make water flow imperceptible. The result achieves interior noise measurements below 20 decibels, quieter than recording studios, quieter than meditation caves, quieter than anywhere the client had ever experienced. But silence represents only the foundation. The AI understood that true sanctuary requires carefully curated positive sensory input, not merely absence of negative stimuli. Natural sounds enter through precisely positioned openings calculated by bioacoustic algorithms. Forest bird calls reach the primary bedroom at optimal wake-up frequencies. Water features produce pink noise calibrated for concentration enhancement in the home office. Wind, through specially designed architectural elements, creates tones proven to reduce cortisol levels. Lighting systems replicate the exact spectrum of natural daylight the client experienced during the happiest period of their life, a sabbatical year spent in coastal Portugal 2 decades earlier. The AI analyzed photographs from that period, extracted color temperature data from ambient lighting visible in images, and programmed interior fixtures to reproduce those conditions. The client reported immediate emotional recognition upon first entering the completed space. Material selections prioritize tactile and olfactory experience alongside visual aesthetics. Floors throughout utilize hinoki cypress from sustainably managed Japanese forests, selected for aromatic properties that traditional culture associates with spiritual purification. Wall coverings include hand-loomed textiles from artisan cooperatives, chosen through AI analysis of fiber compositions that produce optimal haptic comfort. Even furniture leather comes from tanneries, using botanical processes that avoid chemical odors entirely. Smart home systems remain completely invisible. No screens appear anywhere in the residence. No voice interfaces await commands. Instead, Home automation responds to biometric monitoring through wearable devices the client already uses. Temperature adjusts based on skin conductivity measurements, lighting shifts according to pupil dilation patterns, music selections emerge from heart rate variability analysis, suggesting current emotional states and beneficial interventions. The property cost $49 million, plus an additional $8 million for the custom AI analysis that identified its location and informed every design decision. The client reports sleeping fully through the night for the first time in 11 years. Medical markers for stress-related conditions have improved 2 levels last seen in their 20s. They describe the investment as the most effective healthcare expenditure of their life. What comes next? Even architects couldn't envision it. Number 1 on our tour exists not as a single property, but as a design system so advanced that it could theoretically generate infinite unique homes, each perfectly optimized for its specific owner, site, and moment in time. A processing cluster hums in a temperature-controlled facility in Zurich, Switzerland. Inside those servers runs Eternal Architecture, an AI system representing 5 years and $400 million of development by a consortium of the world's leading architecture firms, technology companies, and sustainability research institutions. This isn't a tool that helps architects. This is a system that replaces the traditional design process entirely. Eternal Architecture consumes data from sources no previous design system could integrate. Satellite imagery provides real-time environmental analysis for any location on Earth. Climate projections extend performance modeling out 50 years rather than current conditions alone. Global material databases track availability, pricing, and carbon footprint for hundreds of thousands of building components. Biometric profiles from potential owners reveal preferences they couldn't articulate themselves. Feed this system a location, a budget, and access to owner health data, and it produces complete architectural documentation within 72 hours. Structural engineering, mechanical systems, material specifications, construction sequencing, even contractor recommendations based on regional capability analysis. What previously required 18 months of professional services happens in 3 days, at quality levels that exceed human capability. The first 20 homes built from Eternal Architecture designs completed in 2024. Early results exceed projections across every measured category. Energy performance averages 47% better than modeling predicted. Construction costs average 12% below estimates. Owner satisfaction surveys return scores higher than any luxury development previously recorded. The system works. Here's what makes Eternal Architecture genuinely revolutionary. It learns from every project. Each completed home feeds performance data back into the system. The AI identifies which decisions produced superior outcomes and adjusts future recommendations accordingly. After 20 homes, performance improved. After 200 homes, performance improved again. After 2,000 homes, this system will possess accumulated design intelligence, exceeding what human architects could develop across centuries. Access costs $125,000 for initial design, plus ongoing fees tied to home performance. Owners essentially subscribe to their homes. As the AI learns and improves, it pushes updates that enhance living experience over time. Lighting recommendations refined based on global biometric research. Material maintenance schedules optimized based on failure pattern analysis across thousands of installations. The home you buy today becomes better every year you own it. Current projections suggest Eternal Architecture will design over 10,000 homes by 2030. If patterns hold, those homes will collectively reduce residential carbon emissions by an estimated 4.7 million tons annually. They'll generate enough surplus energy to power small cities. They'll create living environments so precisely optimized for human well-being that occupants experience measurable health improvements simply by residing within them. The consortium behind Eternal Architecture refuses to reveal their full client list. What we know suggests sovereign wealth funds, technology billionaires, and forward-thinking developers dominate early adoption. Several entire planned communities will feature exclusively Eternal Architecture designs. The traditional architecture profession watches with a mixture of fascination and existential concern. This isn't a concept. This is tomorrow's reality. 7 properties and systems. 7 windows into a future that's arriving faster than anyone predicted. What connects them all? The recognition that artificial intelligence doesn't just assist human creativity. In the right applications, it surpasses it. These designs share something else. They prove that sustainability and luxury were never opposing forces. The AI systems we've explored don't compromise between environmental responsibility and human pleasure. They've discovered that optimal sustainability often produces optimal comfort. Buildings that waste no energy happen to maintain perfect temperatures. Structures that minimize materials happen to create spaces of remarkable beauty. Nature and technology aren't enemies. Under AI guidance, they become partners. The philosophical implications extend beyond architecture. If machines can understand beauty well enough to create these spaces, what else might they understand? If algorithms can anticipate human needs better than humans themselves, what does that suggest about the nature of desire? These questions have no easy answers. But standing inside any of these properties, watching light fall precisely where it should, feeling air move exactly as comfort requires, the answers matter less than the experience. What remains beyond even these achievements? Designs we cannot yet imagine. AI systems still learning, still improving, still surprising their own creators. The properties we've toured today represent not the destination, but merely the first steps on a journey that will transform how our species inhabits this planet. The future of living isn't coming, it's already being built. If you're ready to explore the complete evolution of luxury living and AI-designed architecture, our full documentary series awaits on the Virtual Estate main channel. The link is in the description. Step into tomorrow.